Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be going over Mabox Linux and what it is and why has it suddenly just appeared on YouTube in the past couple weeks. But first, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and give that notification bell a good old ring. Anyway, so Mabox Linux, what is it? So it is apparently this fast and lightweight functional Linux desktop that is rolling release and is Manjaro based. So it's basically Arch. It is just an Arch based. It's another Arch based Linux variation. Maybe it's based off of Manjaro, so it's Arch. Just it's Arch at its core. Apparently uses the OpenBox window manager. So it's just appeared out of nowhere in the past couple of days. So well, past few weeks. So let's actually have a look at it. So apparently with the August refresh ISO, we're currently in September, so I don't know why it's still saying August. But there we go. So it's apparently a lightweight and fast operating system that uses the OpenBox window manager with lightweight apps, so we'll find out what they are. And it's minimal and fast, and it takes about 300 megabytes of RAM. Now, 300 megabytes of RAM on any system is spectacular. So we'll find out more. With fresh software, with quick access to latest packages available, that's expected when it comes to Arch. Well, using Arch-based variations of Linux, so it's nothing new. Stable, apparently it's built on top of a Manjaro stable branch powered by the long-term support kernel, featuring 100% completely stable OpenBox window manager. Now, whatever the window manager is or is not, so I don't understand how they're trying to do the fresh software and stable unless it's entirely, unless they're going full tilt and saying, hey look, this is its own thing, which they could be doing. We'll find out more. Mabox Tools is apparently a set of carefully handcrafted utilities and scripts to provide streamlined desktop experience. We'll find that out. Develop passion. Mabox Linux is free and will always will be. That's kind of the ethos of Linux. It's free unless you work for Canonical or the people who own Red Hat Enterprise. Unfortunately, that's not free anymore. But there we go. And of course, the usual, hey, donate on Ko-fi to keep us going. Yeah, that's fine. So what we have here is we have virtual machine. Ignore the name, how it says SteamOS. I was trying something with HoloLive that wouldn't work. But here we have Mabox. You see how fast that booted? That was pretty fucking fast. So we're going to be booting with the open source drivers. That is exactly how how Manjaro looks when you boot up. So it's not really straight too far from the norm when it comes to using Mabox. So it looks like Manjaro, could be Manjaro, just with a different skin. We'll find out once we boot it in. Because this is a live version, there will be some variations, which is an expected outcome. So one of the key things I do like, you get your shortcut panels here. So this appears to be using, from what I've seen whilst looking at other people's videos, it appears to be using some form of DWM from Suckless, because the way it has the terminals and the, hey look, tiling window manager. So it looks like it's using some form of DWM. Now, it could be using DWM exactly. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. But as we can see here, he's using 432 megabytes of RAM out of the 8 gigabytes of RAM I allocated. I was about to say, if he's using 432 of the 8 megabytes, there's something wrong there. But no, it's using a decent amount. It uses Xorg, and as we can see here, this uses Pulse Audio. As we can see, there was Pulse Audio that was popping up a couple times. So it we'll have to do some checking into it, shall we? So let's open up the terminal. So this is definitely a different terminal. It is its own terminal, which is perfectly fine. So first thing we want to do is pacman -s new fetch, and sudo. So this is important to know. The live USB doesn't give you the access to do it off the bat, which is fine. This is an expected behavior of a live USB. Now, because we're just doing this quickly is just going to be wiped when we're done anyway. So we use NeoFetch to have a quick examination, as we can see here, just to make sure it matches. Because it's one thing to say, hey, look, this is this over here. It's another thing to make sure it actually matches. So this is why I'm just running them both. So as we can see here, this is Mabox Linux. It has its own thing with NeoFetch, which is very good. We're running the x86 64-bit variation, which is what we want. The kernel is reported as 5.210, 5.4.210-1-Manjaro, 5.4.210-1-Manjaro. So that matches. It's all well and good them saying, hey, look, we're using this, if it doesn't match. So that's why it's worth having a quick check to see if it matches. In this scenario, it does match, which is what we want, so that's fine. As we can see, they are using the window manager open box, which is also good. That's the main thing. It uses the terminal terminator. I have never seen the terminal terminator before. That's why it threw me off. So it's an experience using terminator, so that's fine. So the kernel it uses is a older kernel. It's a long-term support kernel, so that's expected. But that means it'll have support for a longer time than, for instance, 5.15, which is good. Having support for a long time is good. I do use the long-term support kernel on my own installation of Manjaro and bare metal, so that is fine. I can understand why you'd want to use that one. As we can see here, it also uses the Xorg. So if you're into using Xorg and Pulse Audio, well, there you go. You've got no issues there. So let's have a look round, shall we? So we'll just tell that to go away. So what we have up here is we have the colorizer to be able to change the accents of the desktop. So let's, for example, take that and just have a little bit of fun and go plasma. Popular accents color. Let's go with that. So apparently colors have changed. So let's just regenerate with a light background. Apparently this doesn't. We'll go conky with a dark background. With a light background. Nothing's changed. So that could be something else entirely different, but at the same time, don't know. We'll have to figure out what's going on. Reverse. There we go. Now, this is what I expected when I did something different. So that there, I'm guessing, is just a small little bug that happens because it's a live USB. That's fine. As we can see, 1% of the CPU or 1% of the CPU. That's pretty good. As we can see, moving into dark mode, the RAM is still doing decently well, which is good. It's the main thing. So let's have a look at, I don't know, SuperKey Windows. That opens up a run. In this case, I might have my SuperKey wrong. So either I have my SuperKey wrong, or this doesn't. No, I did not have my SuperKey wrong. So the SuperKey is Windows, so I was just making sure. But if we hit the super key, Windows key and the regular keyboard, we've got a little pop-up menu, which I will admit is a pretty nice way of doing things. So we've got your usual add remove software, your system monitor, your file manager. In this case, they use Pac-Man file manager, GM run, gpart, the usual stuff. You got your like DM greater settings, so this is how it looks like. You got your panel, you've got your themes. Let's change for, I don't know, just give it a scroll. Let's choose that one, and that is what it is. So let's change our default user icon to that one. Yeah, okay, that should update, but it hasn't, but that's fine. Let's tell you what, let's have a look at the development. So we'll go through the application. So here's the accessories, just the usual terminal emulator, then the terminal. Then you've got your archive manager, which is very important. You got your color picker if you want to do any like graphical work. You've got sticky notes, which is very good to have. I just want a new sticky note, mate. I just I guess I'll have a new sticky note. So this is just going through a list of options. So if we want to do a new pad, we'll just do Control N. Or not. That doesn't want to know with me. That's fine. This is why we move on and find out another thing. So this is something I do like. You just open it anywhere you want, and it is not a static item. That is one of the main things about using Arch. You can do what you want, where you want, wherever you want it, what you want, when you want, whenever you want. Have at it, which is good. So now let's look at our graphics. We've got the color picker again, color menu, screenshot tool, which is always good. Another color picker, this time it's Gpick. Image magic colors, view nor, and another color picker, Xcolor. I don't know what the obsession is with color pickers. That is strange. With multimedia, we have Audacious, which is Audacity without the telemetry hookings, which I don't know why Audacity just decided to go with the telemetry hookings. I know they were bought out and the company did it, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. We got our media player. I don't know why they've not used VLC, but again, that's up to them. They're the ones that make it. You've got pulse audio control. You've got some test utilities, video capture, which is always good, and a volume icon, which I'm guessing is this thing here. And as it turns out, it is this thing here. So here's something. You don't need to use your super key to open up the menu. You can right click anywhere and it'll bring it up, which is also good. System settings, you've got usual add, remove, advanced network, and an R, Bluetooth adapters and managers. Because this is a virtual machine, I don't have any Bluetooth devices I can pass through to it, even if I wanted to. We've got our colorizer. Let's have a look at our change look and theme. So let's go for mouse cursor and select that. So here's our cursors. We can go for the Chicago Emerald. So Chicago Emerald. Let's go for the Breeze Light, because this is what Manjaro is to me. Like, this is how I came across Manjaro, with these icon packs. That's what that means to me. We could of course change our fonts styling. So we've got anti-aliasing. I don't know why you'd want anti-aliasing on your fonts other than to make it look a bit nicer. You could disable that to reduce the amount of RAM usage, for example, if you really want to be anal about your RAM, which is perfectly fine. It's your operating system. Do what you want with it. That's the main thing. We can also change the fonts if we wanted to, which is also good. So let's just say, I don't know, in Consolata, because apparently I don't hate myself enough already. Yeah, let's actually change out in Consolata. That's not for me. In Consolata is not the theme that we will be going with, because yeah, no, definitely not in Consolata again. Let's just go back to Noto Sam's, select OK, apply that, and things are back to somewhat relative scene normality. So we can go here, change through these, and it actually changes in real time. This reminds me of Noctua equipment, so we're going to stick with that. So the graphics change in real time. That is pretty good, because there's no guarantee that if you say, hey, change graphics, it'll change in real time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. This does, and as we saw, it was pretty responsive after it did it the first time around, which is an expected instance. In the Internet tab, we've got, mail reader, which is probably Firebird or Thunderbird even. We've got network configuration, which is expected. Firefox, because who doesn't love Firefox? It comes with practically every Linux operating system nowadays, which, if you ask me, that's an expected thing, really. We've got all this jazz. So let's have a look at our task manager. So looks like the usual Manjaro based task manager. And of course I have the usual problems of trying to click into it and can't, which is fine. So this looks normal, perfectly fine. So let's actually use one of these windows here to open up a window, shall we? So let's pick something to do. So let's grab ourselves a Firefox. and see what it does. Because now, when opening Firefox for the first time, it may go like, "Hey, have a look at our page." Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. As we can see here, using a decent amount of RAM. So let's have a look at our little windows over here to see what to do. So this is telling us we need to do super key and arrows. And now we have ourselves a tiling window manager. So it is like DWM from Sockless. It works pretty well. So let's just keep it. We can do super key enter, which goes full screen, which is good. We can toggle full screen with F11. We don't need to. We can use Windows super key enter. That is fine. So if we want to do super key D desktop, super key D again to bring it back. If we want to do B2 undecorate, so I'm guessing that's just lock it in place. So it's, you know, the bar here, that's fine. We can just move this back to there or there so we can get access, but let's just move it up to there for the time being so we can carry on having a look. So say for example we want to open up our volume control. We do super and V volume control. Oh, I don't know, calculator. Let's get our terminal and file manager, so F and W. So these things open up without any hassle, and they all just work. They move around without any hassle. Now, remember when I said Firefox may open up a different web page on the first launch? Well, as we can see here, we have Mabox as our home page, so we can come through and have a look at what it's trying to sell us. Well, it's not trying to sell us, it's just like, hey, look, use our operating system, please, which is fine. I can do that. So we'll have a look at Terminal Emulator. It's apparently using Terminator, which is perfectly fine. We can open it with Super T, which we already have done. It gives some keyboard shortcuts, which is very nice. It says, hey, look, it's like this. You can use it if you want to. So that's fine. It references other things. So that is good. No, I don't want to have a look at the Google vignette. That's also something that I'm not too big of a fan of recently. If you ask me, the whole usage of Google vignette is just no thanks. So with the Pacman file manager, just shows you what it looks like. Let's just bring this up full. So give the option of changing things around, having a look at different things. Where it kind of reminds me of how the desktop format in Debian. That's fine. So if you jump from one to the other, you have some sort of familiarity, which is good. And something that I have that it does claim to do, which I do like the idea of, is you can go through and connect to an SSH, connect to an FTP server through SSH inside of the file manager. Now that's pretty cool if you ask me. No need to go get extra FTP software or try and faff around with trying to get connections sorted out through all this. It just does it inside of the URL bar, well, the address bar for files. So that's pretty good. That's also something to keep an eye on. That's pretty good. So key items of this. This is a tile. It uses a tiling window manager in some form. It uses their own or a variation of a desktop manager, as we've established. If we come here and just say, I want you to go there, please. As we can see here, we can just do super and move it to separate quarters. That's pretty cool because if I do numpad 7, it moves to top right, numpad 3 bottom left, which is actually a pretty nice way of doing it if you ask me. It's pretty good. So colorize is apparently a way to change things around, but again, I don't want to have a look at that just yet. What we're going to look at finally is we'll go back to the home page to see what they're using. So they use QuickTile, so it is definitely a tiling window, tiling desktop. Just different way of doing it, which is it's always nice to see with the open box window manager. So it's not like it has similarities to DWM, but not DWM. It's an interesting way of doing it. So it's got keyboard shortcuts. So let's just have a look at the default preferred, and we can call it there. Oh god, I hate those banner ads. Internet browser Firefox, which is expected. Firefox is used in most It's pre-installed in most Linux operating systems nowadays. That's fine. It's to be expected. File Manager, they use Pacman File Manager, which we've had a look at and just used already. Terminal emulator is Terminator, as we've seen. Not exactly my choice of terminal emulator. However, it may do it for you. Doesn't do it for me, but it works, which is the main thing. As long as it works, that's all I care about. And we can change the preferred menu, so we can use the small program from Xface menu settings preferred applications. So let's have a look. Let's do Xface, and then we do preferred applications and come down here and say internet, text browser, no thank you, or utilities, Pacman File Manager, and Terminator. If we wanted to change it, we could do. That's pretty good. The only gripe I have is, like, why not more preferred application options? But it is what it is. Anyway, this has been a review and dive into Mabox Linux. In my opinion, I think it looks alright. It could be worth something looking into for. I might move over to it for my bare metal install, but I have to spend more time with it in the virtual machine before I jump. Anyway, it's been an interesting video. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I have been Nick, you have been amazing, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.